Alright, hey guys, so today I'm going to be taking a quick look at a game called ZiL Truck Rallycross. This is a arcade racing game or racing simulator, whatever you want to call it. And if you were curious, ZiL is a Russian manufacturer of trucks, so we're going to be racing with Russian trucks. I think there's 3 different types of trucks in this game. Let's go ahead and get started with the career, and we'll do a new career. Let's go over here, new career. I think it starts you off with $10,000, so I'm going to go ahead and use that money to tune up my truck. So I'm going to go to tuning, and we'll buy a tuning package which will improve my power, speed, and handling. We'll buy that. There's also the car shop, which I'll just go ahead and show you the different types of trucks available in the game. Most of them are just different paint jobs and so forth, but some of them are actually completely different trucks, but they all look very similar to one another, with flatbeds in the back. They almost look like farm trucks. But yeah, just a bunch of different ones. Alright, so let's go ahead and go back and we'll start our first race. Competitions. Quarterfinal championship. And select, and here we go. So, one race. Let's do it. I'm not sure if it's ZiL or if you're just supposed to say ZiL. It's like a capital Z, lowercase I, and then a capital L, so I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. Oops. I thought I was supposed to go right there. My bad. But yeah, it's a pretty generic racing game. Not a whole lot to say about it. The controls work pretty well if you rebind the keys. Right out of the box, there wasn't buttons assigned for a controller, so I had to assign the controls manually, but that's not a big deal. The physics feel a little odd. It feels like I'm like constantly drifting. Like my back wheels just feel like they're on ice. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but I can definitely feel it in the control. It feels like my truck is constantly trying to drift every time I turn. But, oh well, it works. It's honestly not a bad racing game. There's just not a whole lot to it. I'll have to check the price of the game on Steam. I'm not sure how much it costs. I think it's like $5 or $6, so definitely an indie game. Probably made by Russians, I'm sure. But I like the music. The music is definitely pretty enjoyable to listen to. Yeah, so I'm like way out in first place. I think I'm way too far. I might have to go out to the main menu and do a quick race just to try out the other trucks, because I don't think I'm gonna have any issue winning this race with the tune-up I got. Not sure how many racetracks there are. It feels like I'm constantly drifting, even though I'm not like using the steering or any buttons at all. I'm just holding the right trigger and I'm just steering with the left control stick. That's it. In the key rebinding options, I'll show you it after this game. There's not a whole lot of things you can choose. There's like brake, gas, and I think there's a clutch, and then the other controls are just steering. There's also different camera angles. I can go ahead and show you. Actually, this is a bad idea. I'll show you it again up here. Okay. So I can look this way. I can look this way. You can also zoom out. Kind of like racing like this. Gives you a bigger field of view. This is closer, but this seems the most natural, at least to me. There's not a cockpit or driver view, but I guess you don't really need one in a game like this. So, what lap am I on? 3 out of 4? So this race is almost done. I wouldn't say, like, the physics are very good. I don't know how you would describe that in a driving game. Just the overall control just feels out of place. It feels like when you make a turn, it just feels like you start drifting automatically, even though you don't want to drift. Very strange. Like you start turning and then you keep turning. You don't have to hold the turn button or the control stick to the left or right. You just pretty much just swipe it over and then it goes back to the center. I'm not sure if that makes any sense. The controls are just, they feel kind of off. But for an indie racing game, it's not really that bad. The graphics aren't like terrible, but I mean they could be better. You can see like some constant clipping of textures loading and so forth. Looks like the draw distance is very, very narrow, even though I have it set on max draw distance. Alright, we're on lap number 4, so one more lap to go. If you guys were curious, the developers did send me a key to take a look at, so that's why I'm playing it. But honestly, it's not too bad. I wouldn't say it's great, but it's not bad either. It's not like it's broken or anything like that. Definitely a working game. I'm not sure where the other trucks are. I kind of just left them way behind at the beginning. So in a way, it doesn't even feel like I'm racing. I'm like racing by myself. Probably because I got that tune-up. Extra speed, extra power. Wonder if you could flip the truck. Looks like there is some mud animations. Like my truck is getting a little bit muddy at the bottom. I'm not sure if it was like that at the beginning. I don't think it was. Alright, almost done. Best time, 1 minute and 16 seconds. Let's see if we can get another best time here. There is invisible barriers on the left and right side of the track. Otherwise, I would try to take a shortcut. And victory. So yeah, pretty fun, just generic little racing game. Nothing special, but you get to race in trucks you wouldn't find in other racing games. Oops, I accidentally clicked off the screen. The screen might have went black there. Sorry about that. So let's go ahead and let's just look at the competitions one more time. So we have to do all of these races. Oh, we have to complete 4 races to complete the quarterfinal championship, and then you move on to this, and then to this, and then you go all the way up to the final championship. So there's like, what, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 levels total in the campaign. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the main menu, and I'm going to do a quick start. And am I able to change my truck? Oh, it just gives you a random truck. Alright, so I'm not sure which track we raced on before. I guess we'll try this one because I just like the look of the truck. Hopefully it's not the same course. I don't know what course we raced on last time, but I'm just kind of crossing my fingers and hoping we're going to do a different course. This looks different. It's the same map, but the course looks different, doesn't it? Just a little bit. This is a little bit more fair because I'm not like super speed. Looks like the other trucks slow down during turns, but since you just drift all the time, you don't really have to slow down. Like, I don't ever have to press the brakes since I'm constantly drifting. Which is kind of cool. I mean, I kind of like it. But at the same time, the AI are not smart enough to do that, so they're like way behind and they keep on pressing the brakes. Yeah, this is definitely a different course, so I'm willing to bet that all the courses are... Wait, this is the same course, it's just backwards. It's the same course, but in reverse. I noticed that cabin before with the tire beside the... Wait, is it the same course? I don't know if we're just going backwards. Oh, I understand. Okay, so every course is pretty much on the same map, which is honestly pretty pretty lazy of the developers not to make different environments for each course. So it looks like every course in the game is on the same exact map. There's just different variations of the tracks, so they just like redesign the layout each time. Pretty lazy. Just based on that, I probably wouldn't recommend this game, but I mean, it's not really a bad game. I mean, it's kind of enjoyable just to be able to drift around all these corners without having to do anything. What's kind of cool in the back, there's like 2 fans. I'm not really sure what those fans are cooling, but it just looks kind of cool. Have a little roll cage. I think like a truck demolition derby game would be really fun. I really miss games like Flat Out. If anyone ever remembered Flat Out, those were some awesome games back on the PS2. I remember renting them from like Blockbuster. Had a lot of fun with Flat Out 1 and Flat Out 2. but then it went downhill. I don't know what happened to Flat Out. Like, no one has remembered Flat Out for a very long time. I think they split off the game developers and they started making the game called the Next Car Game, or I think it might be called something else now. But there's like an early access game on Steam made by the same people that made Flat Out. Kind of cool. Cool destruction physics. Okay, so I'm not going to finish this race just because I don't really care. And I'll just show you there is invisible barriers. And you get teleported back if you go too far out. You can take shortcuts like this, like little shortcuts sometimes, and, well, if you get back on the course in time, you can take little shortcuts, but that's pretty much it. Pretty much all there is to this game. I guess I want to do one more thing. I want to go back to the main menu. I hope it doesn't close the game. Sometimes when you press exit in games, it'll shut down the whole game. Okay, so I want to change the track. This is definitely a different track, so I want to just make sure that there isn't other environments, because I don't want to be like misjudging or misrepresenting the game or anything like that. So we're playing one more. Okay, so this is an actual different environment, I think, anyway. I don't know why I started with that camera angle. Yeah, okay, so there is some different environments. That's a good thing. Or at least it looks like it's different. Yeah, it's definitely different. But they look pretty similar. It's just like slightly different textures and a different time of day. What are you doing? Ramming me off the road? See, they have to slow down, and I can just drift across like it's no big deal. Probably just do one lap. Just want to check out this new environment. I like the soundtrack though. It's the same song repeated over and over again, but I like it. Some like hardcore metal. Whoa. I should have started turning early. Alright, I think we're closing in on the first lap. I think this is the largest racetrack. That's what it looked like anyway. And I think that is the flag. Nope, that's the flag. Hooray! Victory! And done. So yeah, that's just a quick look at ZiL Truck Rallycross, or however you pronounce that name. Just a little Russian truck racing simulator. So that's pretty much all I have to say. So thanks for watching and have a nice day.